Hey everyone, this is Nic LaRue, and I'm at the South Georgia Film Festival representing Film Snobbery. Here, I'm in Valdosta at Valdosta State University in beautiful Georgia. It is a wonderful day out, and it's a beautiful day for movies. And that's what we're here to talk about today. And who am I talking about movies today with?
You are talking with Henry Severe, writer director, and I am a filmmaker here with my short film showing.
What film are we going to talk about today?
We are going to talk about 1 a.m. Heroics.
All right, 1 a.m. Heroics. We were talking a little bit off camera. We're both comic book fans, which is awesome. This has a little bit of a bent to that, and I like that. So tell me a little bit. What for those who are not here at the festival? I don't know why you're not at the festival. You should be, but if they're not, tell everyone who's not here what they're missing.
Yeah, so 1 a.m. Heroics, it's basically about these two friends who have a little bit of a late night argument when one of them crashes into their living room out of a glowing purple portal. That was a tongue twister. Glowing purple portal.
Glowing purple portal.
So now they basically just have this little argument where the friend with the superpower is trying to hide it, but then the other friend is kind of like, wow, like, why would you never tell that to me? And they're just like arguing about this late night, trying to, keep it all a secret. Yeah.
Now, I know that, like, we were talking a little bit about how, like, this feels very, like, Peter Parker-ish. It feels just very comic booky in general. And, I know people could probably pick that part out. But you tell me, what about this story specifically were like, I gotta make a little movie out of this?
So basically I had wrote it in my dorm in like summer 2022 because I wasn't really doing that much. Honestly, I was just like
None of us were.
right. Like I had classes online. I was working at the time, but I just had a lot of free time on my hands, so it was either this or like watching like Stranger Things on Netflix. So basically I had written it. I wrote it, I like storyboarded it. I kind of like wrote it and like storyboarded like a regular show episode. And I was even like thinking about like maybe I should make this animated, but then I just finished it and then I finished writing it and I kind of just let it like sit for a while. Mostly because I didn't know how to end it. So I kind of sat on it for a little bit. I showed it to my friend Chris, who actually is the producer on it, Chris Anderson, and they actually suggested the ending to which I don't want to spoil or
No spoilers, sir.
spoilers. But yeah, so then we kind of wrapped up writing it, and then I filmed it around it was January or February 2023, so about a year ago. And filmed it. I edited it and everything, and then once I was done with like a rough cut, I was like, honestly, I don't know if I really like this. So I again just sat on it for a little bit. My summer 2023, it was just really really busy. And then once it was fall 2023, so just a few months ago, I was like, honestly, I don't know if I like this. So then I went back. I was kind of tweaking it a little bit. I did some more stuff with sound design, all of that. And then it was Halloween, and I was like, honestly, if I don't drop it now, I may just never do it because I'm just so in my head about it, and I need to just like I have a craving to just put something out and like just like to be creative and just like put something out. So then I dropped it on Halloween, and people really liked it, and I'm really happy about that. Like people that I like go to school with, some like family friends, but then also just like some like people just on the internet or like going to these film festivals. It's got a very positive reception, so I'm very excited about that. But yeah, that's basically the story behind like how it came to be. Yeah.
Is this the first festival this is at, or has this been at a couple festivals already?
So no, it was at the Love Your Shorts Festival in Sanford, Florida, and it was also at this festival that was ran by my friend. It was the Divergent Film Festival, which was in I'll just say Orlando. It was just a certain area of Orlando, but it was in Orlando, Florida. So that was at the Enzian Theater. I love that theater. But yeah, so those two both happened in the past 2 months. They were actually on the same day, which is funny. But yeah,
You're just owning Orlando on that day.
like
That's what you do.
low key, yeah, yeah. But yeah, those were the past festivals you was at. Yeah.
What? So, all right. So you're younger, obviously, than me. You have a whole future ahead of you, and we're looking at the entertainment industry as it is right now, and it is all over the place. What is it about the entertainment industry though that is in filmmaking, especially and all that, that is really appeals to you? Like, what is the thing that makes you go like, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, so honestly, that's a really good question because right now, I'm a junior in my undergrad. I turned 20 this past summer, so I'm about to turn 21, and things are just very scary right now. And obviously, it's scary because I chose to major in film, so that was a choice. But now with the industry and like streaming, AI, just a lot of crazy stuff is going on right now, and obviously like I'm caught up on like the news and a lot's happening. But I think I can't see myself doing anything else because I just have like what I was saying about like I just need to put something out. Um, I just like have this, like a drive to just be creative, and when I was kind of like holding back from putting out the short, it was around like the end of summer to like when I put it out in October. And so it was like around like 3 months where I was basically in like a creative depression where I was like, this sucks. I feel sad, like I feel like bad. And I realized like, oh, when I was being creative and then when I was like drawing or writing something or whatever, like it made me feel better. So it's just like I can't see myself not doing this because like if I didn't, like it'd just be fatal. Like I don't, it's just awful. But now with the industry though, I interned with the Blacklist this past year, and it showed me like a lot, and it was such an educational experience with the academy as well. Like they've just been amazing, and it really showed me like, okay, now that I'm closer to it, now I'm even like more sure that this is something I really want to do, because I know a lot of people, it's like you kind of like are making films with your friends, and then when you get like closer to that stuff, it's like maybe this isn't what I want to do, or maybe I want to keep this more as a hobby. But no, I'm at least for now, I'm very much locked in, even though things are scary. Somehow, some way, we shall persevere. But yeah.
No, you know what? I think a lot of Hollywood is still just making films with your friends, which is great.
Right, and I love
It's just at some
that.
point you get paid to do it, like you hope.
Yeah.
So no, that's fantastic. Are you where are you going to be heading with the film from here? Do you have any other festivals booked up, ready to go, or what's up?
Yeah, so right now I know literally like when I was either like it was like when I was like packing to come here actually. So just for context, I stay in Florida. What? Let me start that. Just for context, I stay in Orlando, Florida, but I'm originally from South Florida. I love like Broward County, so I was packing to come up here to Georgia, and I saw that I got into this festival in New York. So I'm really excited about that. It's like New York Monthly Film Festival, I believe that's the name of it. But honestly, I was just like trying to apply for as many festivals as possible, especially. But particularly, I wanted to go for smaller ones, or at least ones where it was like I know I can make like a better connection with the people that are gonna be there. Because honestly, I like talking to people. Just in general, like yeah.
I can tell for those of you who are not listening or who are not privy, we were talking for probably 20 minutes before this recording even started. So that and I it's part of the honestly it's part of the job I love the most too. Like you meet the whole point of this is I mean I think from your perspective it's meeting new people and seeing how an audience reacts to your piece and seeing if they connect with it the way that you did. For me, it's just connecting with people like yourself. So that's fantastic that you're going to be going. Do you have any other trips out to LA to kind of is there kind of a plan starting to form at there to maybe make a permanent move?
I really hope so. I definitely have some plans in the works for hopefully this upcoming summer. But definitely I would like to be back there, especially because like I don't know. I feel like everyone's always says like, oh, like the people in LA are so fake and like all that. But like I thought the people in LA were very nice. Like there was I don't know. I went to Randy's Donuts and the guy like I was like that was giving me the donut was like he was cool and we were talking about big Orlando and the difference between like East Coast and West Coast and like things like that. Like I think I would like to definitely be back. Like I definitely have plans that I want to keep to myself right now until they really come into fruition. But
I totally get that. No, and you know what? As someone who's also lived in LA, I'll say I don't think that LA people are fake. I think that there's just a different experience of living in a town like LA that is very singular to the rest of the country. And there's different priorities there because of that. And, I think there's a little bit of flightiness, but I think also that comes from just everyone is so busy and everyone's trying to make it. Everyone there is a creative. Everyone there is dealing with a lot of the same stuff, but at the same time, it's everyone's got their own thing going on. It's a complicated place. So I don't necessarily call it fake. I think a lot of the stuff that when you meet people, so that is very genuine. But there's just so many people to keep track of, and so many things to get track of that, God forbid, you don't already have like ADHD anyway. You're gonna have it by the time you live out there because there's just always so many things to be looking at any given time. So I totally get that, and I respect it. Do you have other, now obviously the one thing everyone will always ask you is you have a movie that's out now. Oh, what's next? Do you have another movie? But do you have another movie, another script anyway? Or are you currently writing?
I am. So one thing, I'm always like just writing things that I think is funny, just in general, because I think a lot of life is just really funny. It's just a lot of like experiences that I have in just general. Like I think one time I was like talking, I was like, oh, like every week just feels like some coming of age movie because like there's always something going on. But right now, a project that I'm really interested in making that I really, really, really want to complete by the end of this year was this sort of like teen rom com sort of vibe, basically like teen rom com coming of age sort of like short film. And the thing with that is that it would be very different for me because I've never written romance. But at least right now, like I've been working on it and I've been showing it to other people, and it's like been getting like some positive traction. So I just keep chipping at it. But yeah, and another thing is like I would really want to make something that's kind of like a love letter to those like teen movies of like the 80s, 90s, 2000s, like the or was it 7 or 10 things.
10 Things I Hate About You.
I was getting confused with the Miley Cyrus song. 10 Things I Hate About You. Or like She's All That, those kind of things. But that's what would be next for me. But honestly, I'm just always like writing different ideas in my notes app of like, oh, I would love to make a sci-fi action thriller. Thriller? What?
Yeah, it's a chiller thriller. That's how you get to Triller. Yeah,
a sci-fi action trilogy all around Waffle House employees. I just be making random, like genuinely, I just be making like random ideas and just like writing down around like, you know what? If I can either use that or that can be like a fake movie within a movie or something. Who knows? But yeah.
I was playing. So I'm a gamer, but I play Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder and stuff like that. We'll talk about that in a second. And I was doing this one game with this guy. It was a homebrew kind of scenario, and my character that was coming in to a campaign that was already in progress. And of course the conversation comes to how do you introduce your character? And so he goes, I'm going to do a little vignette with your character. We'll kind of go back and forth, and how my character ended up getting into the world that it was like an isekai type of thing, where I basically got transported through some kind of a dimensional portal at an Arby's drive-through. And I know there's a little Hello from the Magic Tavern kind of thing going on there, but for those that know what that podcast is, it's awesome. Shout out to the Arnie Niekamp and the folks over in Chicago. It was funny because we kind of combined elements of like Hello from the Magic Tavern, Magic Tavern, not Magic Castle, Magic Tavern, Hello from the Magic Tavern, and like the Evil Dead. Like Army of Darkness, where he gets transported to like a medieval kind of situation. And, basically my character was a magical version of Ash from Evil Dead. And so I'm like, this is great. It's always awesome to be able to find ways to take some of those elements of stories and stuff like that and take more modern and familiar elements and kind of cross those things over like a Waffle House.
No, definitely. Like, I love those stories that will combine like a little bit of surrealism, but into like a place that like we all like are aware of, or like something that we know. Like I was just we're talking about nerd stuff. I love nerd stuff. Okay, we're like I was just talking about the the comic like the Runaways.
Oh yeah, I love Runaways.
Yeah, like I was just talking about that like concept to my friend, and I was telling him like, okay, imagine like I was like, imagine Gossip Girl meets like the Avengers in LA or like something like that. And I was like, because I love like those like teen drama like CW type shows, like But yeah, like I love when they do things like that, and it's like a location that you're aware of, but like that taking place in LA, and like there's like locations where it's like, oh, I know that place. I've been there, but yeah.
I feel like they didn't capitalize on that enough back in like the 80s and 90s with the West Coast Avengers. You know what I mean? West Coast Avengers, where you have got like Simon Williams, Wonder Man, that's is already working in Hollywood and has like you don't hear about Simon Williams having to go like to his barista job afterwards, because he's not booking roles or something. Like there's so much you could have done with that group of people, especially, but they took them a little too seriously. They really wanted to make it like another team, and there were some comic elements throughout whatever, but like I really feel like there's the doors have been opened. I think whether it's because of Deadpool or whether because of some other, we can treat comics a little more lighthearted now in certain elements with like Miss Marvel and Squirrel Girl and stuff like that. Like that's the kind of things where you could get into that Gossip Girl kind of way of thing, or teen drama-esque type of thing, is you kind of take those younger characters and really just play them in like the reality of what they are. But no, with all that, look, I wish you all the best going forward to the next festival or the next script or the next whatever you're doing. And in the meantime, though, I hope you enjoy your time here at the South Georgia Film Festival here in Valdosta. And I want to thank you for chatting with me for a little bit.
No, thank you so much for having me. This is really fun. I hope to talk to you again in the future. But
It's gotta happen.
Nah, it's been amazing. It's been amazing.
All right.